Hi there, Sifu Slim here, and the subject has come up about managing people, managing anything, managing human interactions. All those things are incredibly challenging to, I would say, everyone until you get to a certain level of understanding, including stopping someone in their tracks when they go on a rant or they're becoming, what's the word, too aggressive or too venting or to whatever. When there's an excess of any kind, you may have to cut that person off. I met somebody in financial services. I've seen two people do this. When they get a sales call, what they do, and imagine the old days in the 1980s where you could put someone on hold. So here's a modern phone, you can do the same thing. When somebody called them with a sales call, they would say, excuse me, I've got a call, after the first 15 seconds or a minute, or whatever it was. Excuse me, I've got a call coming in. Hold on a second. Can you wait with me? Good. You know that way. And then they would put them on hold, and then they go back to work. And then that person would be off the line. Now, it sounds horrible, but this is the real world, and this is the real world of the dog eat dog. Now, as a Sifu guru type person, I'm only sharing this to tell you that that's the real world. I'm not saying to do this, and I'm not saying that I do this, but this exists. Now, fast forward about 25 years from that point, and I am on the phone calling from Germany to a very well-known, 38 years in the business guru person from a town in California that I will not disclose. So one of my personality markers is the ability or propensity to blurt something out without a warm-up. It's called laying it out with no warm-up. It's part of my New Jersey, and it's part of other things in my personality. So I knew this guy is also rushing me. He said, I don't have a lot of time today. So I wanted to hit him with something that I had been working on in terms of working on developing a philosophy. So I said, what do you think, oh guru person with all these devotees and a building to pay for? I would call myself a guru without an ashram. My ashram is wherever I am. This person actually had a building they had to pay for and had to get people in there on a regular basis to do his guru work and have events and all these types of things. I said, what do you think of the idea that life is an acting job? And he said, what? What do you mean it's an acting job? And I said, imagine this. I'm a lover of history. And I have ancestry from Germany, but my ancestry left in the 1880s, the last ones that came to America left in the 1880s. I said, imagine you're in Germany in 1937-38. The Nazi regime is building power such that all of your young people in the area might be in the Hitler Youth, and they're very susceptible to this, and they're gaining, and they're being told at a very susceptible age to turn in anyone who's not part of this movement. So when Hitler was rising to power in the late 20s, early 30s, beer hall pooch, all these things, there were 5 to 10 political parties that were vying for their piece of the pie in Germany, some with different spheres of influence. Now you get to the point where you're limiting that, you're getting down, and the other ones are being pushed aside and removed. And now you're getting to the point where somebody's going to seize control in this very warlike time in Europe. And somebody comes by your house, and you're a person, let's say you're in your 40s, you have a job, you've got 5 kids, you've got maybe a parent or 2 living nearby or with you, and they said, are you part of our movement? I think you're going to start acting real quick, because you know that your neighbor across the way has been arrested or sent to a work camp or lost his job, and now he can't feed his children. And so that's the thing I was talking about, acting. And then this guru person said, I see what you mean. And I think it's the same with anything. If you go to your job or if you're at your party with your kids, you can't say whatever you want to say. So you have to be diplomatic. You have to control what comes out of your mouth. You have to control where your eyes are. You can't stare at people. You can't give them a funny look. People are more touchy now than they've been, let's say, in the 60s and 70s when I grew up. But I would say if you went back to the 1930s and 40s and 1910, with all the different racial problems, let's say in New York or Chicago, you would have a time where you'd have to watch what you said to an extreme degree. Otherwise, you'd be in some type of an altercation. So that's what I suggest about life being an acting job, and I'm opening this up for discussion. And please leave your comments below. And I'm Sifu Slim at sifuslim.com, author of Sedentary Nation and The Aging Athlete and a few more books. And I hope you enjoy that. Big aloha.